How do you take great night photos using just a simple smartphone? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to try to do in this video, and hopefully I can show you exactly how I'm doing it. If you're interested in night phone photography, you might want to have a look at a video I posted last year in which I compared night photos using a phone or a DSLR. And despite the fact it wasn't very scientific, it actually wasn't very conclusive either. But what it proved was that you can get some really nice night shots using a phone. And yeah, that's what I'm hoping to do today. Once again, I'm out walking in Lincoln city centre, and although many of us photographers look down on phone photographers, it turns out that over 93% of photographs are taken with a phone in the world on any given day. So that's a lot of photos taken with a smartphone. But what it does tell you is that 7% of people actually use a purpose-made camera to take their photos, which, if you think about how many cameras, how many photos that are taken in the world, I think that's a lot of photos that are taken with a proper purpose-made camera. And it turns out there are 4 billion smartphones in the world, and everyone we know, well, almost everyone we know, has a smartphone. They are everywhere, and it's no surprise that they're used so much for taking photos. And because of that, we just cannot ignore the fact that they are a really, really good camera to have. And it's the old saying, isn't it? The best camera you have is the one that you've got with you. And, you know, if you've seen these people that take photos with their smartphones, more often than not, they'll show you a picture that they've taken, which is stunning. It's fabulous. And it proves that you really, really can get awesome shots with your smartphone. So I'm going to have a wander around uphill Lincoln and try and find a couple of compositions that I can take with my phone just to illustrate my night photography techniques using the phone. And as with any photography, you're really looking for the light. And in Lincoln, we've got this really lovely art gallery right beside me, which is the little red gallery, and it's got such lovely light in the window. I'm going to try and take a picture of this art gallery, and hopefully I can do it some justice with a phone. So I've set the camera up on the tripod because I think I need to use the tripod, and I've got a this nice gallery in the background, and I'm going to try and go through the settings with you. The challenge I've got where I am now, it's a really busy corner of a street. There's people walking left, right and centre. There's cars going past. So to try to get a shot and explain what I'm doing to you on this photo is probably a bad pick, but I'll just go through these settings just to show you what I'm looking at. So I've got the camera in photo mode, but I'm actually going to go into pro mode. So I'm going to click on more, and on my camera I've got all these settings on my phone, and I can go into night mode, which is the setting I used when I took my video. But for this video, I'm going to use pro mode because I want to adjust some of the settings. So as you can see, I've gone into pro mode, I've adjusted some settings. It now lets me alter my ISO, alter my shutter speed. I can do exposure compensation. I can even alter the focus point and the white balance. Well, the auto white balance works really, really well, so I'm going to leave that as it is. But of course, if I want to try to reduce the ISO, because I want the ISO as low as I can, because I'm certain that because of such a small sensor, phone cameras are notorious for bad noise in high ISO. So naturally the phone would put the ISO up, but I want to reduce that. So what I'm going to do here is try and pop that down to as low as I can get it. So it's 100 ISO. Let's go back. That 100 ISO would be fine for me. And then what that's given me is 1/16 of a shutter. I think I can see that 1/10. It's a low number, and that's fine. That's exactly what I want. So I've also got some other options up here, and the problem is because I can't take a raw photo, unfortunately I'm going to have to go with JPEG and try to take a JPEG picture. And so to enable me to do that, I can change some of these settings. First thing I'm going to do is put myself on a 2-second timer. That gives the the camera time to stop shaking because I'm on a really sort of unsturdy tripod here. I'm going into 3/4 mode, so it's 3:4 picture. Ideally, I would like a 4:5, so it goes for Instagram, but I'm going to go for what I've got. I've gone through matrix metering, so it gives me a full meter. I could go spot metering, but I don't want to do that. I'm happy to do matrix. And I'm also going to go into this button up here. And what that then allows me to do is to adjust things like the contrast. It allows me to adjust the highlights, the shadows, etc. And I'm going to do this in the phone right now because I can't do it in RAW. So I'm going to try to bring the highlights of the gallery down now. So I might do that. What if I had if I obviously had a raw image and I'd take the highlights down, and likewise I might increase the shadows just to bring it out a little bit, not much because it's overdone it, and that's as simple as that. So what I'm going to do is take that photo now. I'm going to press the 2-second timer, and I'm going to take it as people coming past now. So once those people go out of shot, I'm going to take my photo and we'll have a look. Let's see, here we go. It's a 2-second. By the time I press this, those people have gone out of my shot. Tried to do this as calmly as I can. It's wobbling a little bit, but there you go. What I could have done is, as I said, use the night mode, and that would have stitched 30 pictures together. But that's my first one. What I might do is try another couple of shots in this area, and I'll show you what that looks like. Taking that picture of the gallery was super hard. I had cars going past, I had people going past, they kept talking to me, asking me what I was doing, just walking right in front of the camera all the time. It was really difficult, but I'm going to try something else now, hopefully less populated, something slightly easier for me to explain to you what I'm doing. This image of Olivares restaurant on the right hand side of the image, and the cathedral on the left, is a picture I've seen taken before. I'm going to put it into Pro mode again. Let's go into Pro mode, and it gives us a nice image. I've set the ISO still on 100. I've set the speed at 8 seconds by the look of it. Autofocus again. And I've got an auto white balance. It's given me 27,000 Kelvin. This time I've gone for a 10-second exposure. Accidentally pressed that. That's a bit annoying. It's locked anyway. Autofocus is locked. So it's given me I'll get a 10-second timer. I'm just going to go back in here and just check these details because it still looks all right. So the highlights in this image are obviously the cathedral itself and these bits here. So I can just have a little look at that, just play with that, see what it does. It's not really doing too much, so I'm going to leave it back in. It was on 8 or 9. And the shadows again, let's see what I can do with the shadows, bring them up. No, that doesn't really do anything. It doesn't really sort of help the image. So I'm going to leave that as it is. I'm going to get a JPEG, which is a shame, but I'm going to just go with this anyway. So I'm trying to just press this really lightly, and I'm just going to wait 10 seconds for the tripod to just stop shaking, because this is a long 8-second exposure. So hopefully that will be all right. Let's see how that turns out. So you can see it's counting down the exposure, 8 seconds. I've got people, I can hear people coming. Hopefully they're not going to be in my image. So there you are. That's the image there. I'm going to find another shot to further challenge myself. So far, all I've done is used Pro mode, and I could have easily gone into night mode as I did in my previous video, and that would have stitched 30 pictures together, HDR them all up, and they would be great. But I'm really trying to challenge myself and take just a normal photo and see what I can do with it. So I'm going to go and find myself another composition, and we'll try another one. So for this image, I've given myself a real challenge because I'm looking up this street and I've not got a lot of light, especially at the top of the image. I've got all the light at the bottom. Actually, what I'm going to do is just point it down so I get a bit more of the path in the image, so it leads your eye up to the top of this street. And I've got these old buildings at either side. Once again, I'm still in Pro mode. I'm still on 10-second timer. I'm going to have a look at the numbers. So once again, I'm going to have a look at the highlights. So I don't need to drop the highlights so much in this image because it's there's not so many of them. So I'm going to put that, yeah, just leave it in 1. So that's that. I think it's all right. Sort of your focus, your eyes, it really should be going to this building at the back. So what I'm going to have to do in post editing is try and brighten that building at the back. It's brightish, but it doesn't have a lot of light in. So that's it. I'm not going to change anything else. I'm going to just go back into Pro mode. Like I said, as I said, 10-second. I've got. Let's have a look at the speed of this. See if this is enough or not. It might need to go a bit lighter. Let's go back again, see what we get there. That's 2 seconds. That's quite bright. 2-second time is quite bright. So I'm going to give that a try. So obviously these people are gone now. I'm going to press this button. I'm just going to go for it. Hopefully that holds still and we'll see what that image looks like when that's taken. So there we go. That's going to be, I think it said it was a 2-second 2-second image, 2 seconds. It's moving about a bit, so I might take another one. So let's have a look at that on the back of the camera, see how that looks. And that's really bright. That's much brighter than I expected. Maybe 2 seconds is too much, but that's like that, especially down here. It's a real bright image. But I like the idea of it. I like the lights and the path leading your eye. I might just drop that back again down to 1 second. I could drop the ISO, I suppose, but I'll drop it down to sort of 1 second and just, or half a second. Let's see what that looks like. Give that a try. Sometimes in photography, you don't always get the first shot first time, and you have to try a few times to get the shot you want. And this is obviously using a phone. This is a bit different. So we'll have a look at that. That's taken that. That might be a bit dark. Let's have a look. That is a little bit dark around the top. So I'm going to do one more try. This is going to be a 1 second image. We'll get it right in the end, or I will, hopefully. 1 second, come on then. I'll go on to 1 second. There you go. Let's try that now. That should be, try and hold the phone steady. It's moving a little bit, so I don't know if that's going to be blurred or not. So I'll see. Here goes your 1 second shot. And let's have a look at that now. And that's much better. That is a much better image. It's got the light on that. The exposure is much better. So that's good. It looks sharpish. If I zoom in, it doesn't look too blurred. Yeah, that's fine. That's not blurred at all. We go with that one, and we'll see how that looks once we get back. Thank you very much indeed for watching. I hope you've enjoyed my go at night photography using my phone, and I hope you found it informative and helpful. And if you have, why not subscribe to the channel? That would be awesome. And if you actually like this video, why not give it a like? Everything's free. You can press all the buttons. It's super free and easy, and I'd really appreciate your support. Once again, thank you very much indeed for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheerio.